Hi YouTube, XtremeTrainz here. Now, after much waiting and to be honest, the fear that these were not going to come to Australia, I've finally found the complete set, or at least the complete set of engines which I don't already have in my collection, of the Thomas & Friends 2017 Wave 4 Thomas Minis. And here they are in front of you. So, in the last review of Thomas Minis, or at least proper review of 2017, let's see how cool they actually are. I say this every video, but let's take a look at the new packaging. Again, you can see very quickly the different engines featured, that there. The numbering again in this series is super weird. It goes from like 50 something to like 170 something. I don't understand what this is about now. It's super confusing. But hey, thankfully other people have made lists, so we know what is there. That's boring. The next thing you get is again a Wave 4 2017 exclusive brochure that just shows these engines. Although it shows this Thomas on here, I'm actually unsure if he's actually in this wave. So yeah, that's a bit random. Otherwise, you can see all the engines here. Most of these are returning favorites, except Rosie, who I reviewed in another video. You've got these guys on this side, and then on the back, you got the Wave 3 ones, which we've already talked about in another video. So, now I've got that stuff out of the way, let's get to the actual. So the first two engines that you get in this wave, the complete VR set, are the construction engines. So this one here is the Construction Diesel 10, and I think this one's really cool. I'll do a big summary video, hopefully before the year's out, although I am going to the States for a month, so maybe I won't have time for that. But we'll try, and we'll talk about which is my favorite series. But I think this one's really nice. I think especially nice about this one is it's kind of a bit sparkly. You can kind of see it on camera. It's a bit, if it wants to focus, that'd be real nice. Nope. There we go. You can kind of see it's a bit sparkly in the silver plastic, and I think that's really nice. It makes it look a bit more metallic than just your flat grey. I really like the pattern and the detailing on it, all the screws and the yellow. So I think this one's actually quite nice. And I was quite a big fan of the other construction engines. So this one to me is a winner. Equally, this is one of the ones I was really excited for from this wave, which is the Construction Thomas. And I think it looks really cool. It was one of the first engines I saw leaked last year when they were, saying what the new themes would be for 2017. And I really like it. I think the kind of Tonka truck-esque side looks really cool. I love the way they put the name on it. Even the details on the top are really nice, with that kind of like imitation stainless steel cross-hatching on the top there. The color scheme is really cool. I am a big fan of this one. Really nicely detailed. Yeah, I really like this one, big fan. The next one is a monster or creature. I get totally confused. They keep changing what they want to call to it. Percy. I'm assuming he's meant to be like a jellyfish or something. Again, I'm a big fan, as you would know if you've seen my other reviews, of the translucent engines, and this Percy is no exception. I think he looks really, really cool. I'm actually not sure if that piece, the running board, is a separate color. It looks like a separate color on camera, and it does sometimes, depending on how, it kind of looks like a separate color there, but when I go like this, I'm not sure. I think it's a slightly lighter pink, or maybe a slightly less transparent pink than the rest of him. But either way, it's a really cool combination. The face is quite weird. The way he's got these like bits of shoe and a rubbish can and a fry packet mixed into his paint or tentacle things is really quite cool. I'm a big fan of the way that's kind of turned out. It just really doesn't want to focus today. Thank you. And yeah, this one's again weird, wacky, but I really like these clear ones, so it's a winner for me. The next one is another animal engine. We've had quite a few of these by now. This is meant to be a Zebra Thomas. I think this is a cool pattern and a cool design. But to me, they've already done a black and white Thomas, at least one, and the one I'm thinking of is the skeleton one from last year. So to me, this seems a bit silly. Like, surely we could have picked another character to get this treatment. Like, for example, we've only got Classics Duck. Why didn't we just get like a Zebra Duck? I don't understand. Or a Duck. Surely that would have made more sense. I don't know. So I think as an individual engine, this one's quite nice looking. I do like the monochromatic look of, for example, the original Mono series from the first year of these minis. But I do think that it's just, we've seen this color scheme on Thomas before, and I think another engine would have been a better choice. Now, I've got Henry here because I forgot that I already reviewed him. I got him one of those 3-packs I talked about earlier in the year. So that's the Snake Henry. Not going to talk about him now. Now, the next ones are some that I've also really come to like, and I think are in competition for my favourites of the whole entire year. This is the Steel set, and this is Steel James, and it just looks so cool. Like, it looks like it's come right out of Tale of the Brave. I mean, sorry, getting my movies mixed up. Journey Beyond Sodor. How embarrassing. The red they've used is really nice. It's this, like, dark... This is kind of the normal red you can see here, and this is the red they've used. It's like more of a maroni red, the Victor red, and I think it looks excellent on James, particularly the way they've done the mud splashing, and the rust and all the sparks, and the bits of dirt, and the way it comes across even onto the top. You know, these little specks here. It just looks so good. Comes down onto the face too, little coal dust. It's quite subtle. It's a bit hard to see on the camera, but there is like coal dust detailing. And then these golden, pearly gold wheels are just awesome. I am a big fan of this one. You can tell I'm getting a bit gushy because I think this is just a really cool looking mini. It's that nice balance that I always talk about of being recognisably James, but having enough difference so it really kind of catches your eye. I think the same thing can be said for Edward. Again, look, just as a side note, see how the new ones can be very skew if you can kind of bend them back into shape. Anyway, again, I think this Edward's really good too. You've got the use of the same colour blue as normal, but they've really gone hard on the paint splatter and the rust and the coal dust to make him look quite different. And I think the addition of these wheels really breaks it up as well. Again, coal-covered face. It's just really, really nice. The level of detail and the way it's applied just makes it look really realistic. And you actually looks like he's a bit rusted, so I think that's really, really cool. And I'm a big fan of these coal wheels. So these guys are a winner for me. Moving to the back row, we've got the last two Nighttime engines. This is Nighttime Millie. Again, I've kind of been a bit of a meh on some of the Nighttime engines. I think this one's okay. I think she's a little bit... Put it this way, I think the Nighttime theme suffers from them all having the same kind of colour scheme. And I think it's a bit... That's what happens here. So this to me just screams Nighttime Emily, even though it's Millie. But... Again, not too bad. The colours are coming up weird on camera, but it is definitely purple on top, not that weird blue. I don't know why my camera does this, but anyway. Yep, so, I don't know a lot to say about this one. It's nice, but it's a bit same. This Toby, on the other hand, I think is probably a little bit better. The green for the running board, to me, is a bit strange. I don't know why they went with that, but I think the way they've done the detailing around Toby looks really nice. You know, the s'mores, I think they're s'mores, we didn't have them in Australia. Marshmallows, we do have the fire with the marshmallows here. I've loved how they've incorporated the 7 into that. That looks really nice. Yeah, I think this one's nicer. Definitely nicer than Millie, I think, just because it's got more stuff going on, and I think the pattern is a little bit more exciting. And I think the introduction of the green, while a bit weird, also just brings a bit more visual excitement to him. Alright, this next nighttime theme, I'm not totally sure why he's nighttime, but this is meant to be Nighttime Victor. And it's just kind of got fire on it. So, someone must have explained to me, maybe I've got that wrong, but the brochure definitely says nighttime, so... Unless he's meant to be space, but he doesn't look space either. Yeah, okay, that's all I'm going to say about this one. I don't think it's very exciting. And last but not least, in the Wave 4 of 2017, that we haven't already looked at, is Space Gordon. Now, this one I didn't really know what to expect. I think some of the space ones have been alright, some of them have been less alright, but this one actually looks really cool. I'm not sure what they're trying to go for with the face, but it looks really cool with the stripe. I think it's meant to be like a moon or something. I don't know. If you know what that face is meant to be, tell me, because I'd love to know, but I just think this colour scheme looks really nice. And it's a bit hard again to tell on camera, but there is definitely a white on top and that silvery grey from Diesel 10 on the bottom, and I think combined with the red, it just makes him look really kind of, really interesting. And I love the paint details, the way they've done that. So I'm actually quite a big fan of this one, which is a bit of a surprise to me, because I haven't liked all of the others from that series. Alright, so what do I think about the last wave of 2017 minis? Again, I think this one has a lot of really strong engines. And when I say that, I mean all of these ones I'm a big fan of, this one I'm a fan of, and this one I'm a really big fan of, pushing those ones away. So you can see that I actually like, unlike in a lot of other series, pretty much half of the new ones, which is really exciting, because I have found this year particularly to be not a super exciting time for minis. A lot of them have been quite bleh, but there have been some really excellent ones, and I'm glad that they finished off on a note where there are quite a few which are actually quite excellent. I think they, in terms of their ability to be bought, it seemed to have dwindled. I don't know whether minis are getting less popular. I mean, it makes sense, they've been around for 3 years now. But I've found that a lot of places are still stocking Wave 3, and some even Wave 1 and Wave 2 from this year. So it is a bit of a challenge to find these, which is why it's taking me so long to actually get them on my hands and review them. But I am kind of happy with the selection. Again, though, I would say that the pieces of rolling stock that have otherwise been released just haven't seemed to have appeared here in Australia. Like, we never got the snake boxcar or the other troublesome truck or anything. They just didn't show up in our blind bags. So, despite Mattel listening to us and giving us Annie and Clarabelle, as you can see up the back there on my desk, we really need more rolling stock, guys, and I don't understand what's taking them so long to do that, because cool, we're getting all these engine variants, but there are a lot of classic characters they haven't done, and there are a lot of, you know, rolling stock characters that they could do that would save them from coming up with stuff like this, which is just very derivative of what we've already seen. And lastly, I think the playsets this year have been awful because they've just been re-releases of playsets we've already had. So like the Steelwork set was just the Batman set, which was just the same as the original Twist and Turn Sunset, which I've also reviewed, and I didn't really think it was that great. So I think that this has been a bit of a poor year for minis on net, but there have been some really, really interesting ones. And at some point, I will get to doing a review of putting all of the 2017 minis out together. I don't know when that's going to be because I fly out to America for nearly a month in about a week, which is exciting. But that means, hopefully I'm going to pick up some really sick Thomas and toy-related stuff over there that you can't get in Australia. So if you are from the States and you have seen some cool stuff that I haven't seen before, I'd love you to let me know what it is and where I can get it, because I'm really keen to do some shopping while I'm over there and get some of the good stuff that we just don't see in Australian stores. So, otherwise, make sure you guys have a good end of the year and all that other stuff you do. Obviously, it's just before Christmas at the time I'm making this video, even if you're watching it maybe like in 3 years' time and it's not when that is. But hey, I'll stop rambling. That's all I've got time for. Thanks for watching. This is XtremeTrainz.